Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Chicago Bears and the Tennessee Titans. With that, let's get you up to Nashville and Nissan Stadium. For the call, we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Gordon and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thanks. We are across the Cumberland River from downtown Nashville at Nissan Stadium in Tennessee. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Tennessee Titans. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Charles, we take a look at this Titan ball club entering play. They come in playing reasonably well. Losers the last time out, but winners of 4 of 5 before that. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the Red Rifle. From TCU, it's Andy Dalton.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well. Won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's 2nd down. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. And let's take a look at the Bears offense.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
To throw here, Dalton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kyler Fackrell with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
On 4th down, on is the punter, Colby Wadman. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And it'll be Titan football. So the Titans set to go to work for the first time. They'll be led out by the former Mississippi State product, the mobile quarterback, Dak Prescott.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Touchdown, defense.
Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. A look at the starters now defensively for the Bears. They were terrific a week ago in the win over the Lions.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
On play action, Prescott. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets them up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. 2 yards, good enough for a first. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the pistol, they run with Gordon. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 13 yards is the pickup for Tennessee and a 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10. A handoff as they run the counter play. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. From the 24, Prescott.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the 1st down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. So here's Greg Zuerlein now as he'll try for the field goal. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. Zuerlein's kick is up and through. And the Titans hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating 1st downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out there, a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive.
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Quick throw into the hands of Hopkins out wide. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cleveland Farrell able to record his 5th sack of the season. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Here comes the Bears punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Here now a look at Melvin Gordon. At his current pace, sure looks well in line for a 1,000-yard season, but some of the older folks watching that remember the 12-game seasons in the NFL probably say, man, it was a lot harder to do that back then.
Yeah, even the 14-game seasons. And, you know, when we talk to those veteran runners, some of those guys who wear gold jackets, right, and appear in Canton, they look at this and go, you know, it's kind of like going to school and taking 5 years to get your degree instead of just 4.
A victory lap. Now, they also used to walk uphill to school both ways.
In the snow.
In the snow.
Blizzards.
Milk was 5 cents. Hey, but he's having a great year not to take anything away from him. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. 3rd and short yardage. Prescott. Open man is Gordon. Complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 17 yards on that play for the Titans.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Gordon. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down.
Let him know.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And the throw there going to be incomplete. It was Ricardo Allen there on the coverage.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. On 4th down on now is the lefty Ryan Allen to punt. Back to return it, Christian McCaffrey. Here we go with a player spotlight, and we shine that spotlight on Andy Dalton. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground. But that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there. Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a fourth down.
After watching that play result, it took me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and we asked him, so how you plan to move the ball against this defense?
He didn't really tip his hand, did he?
No, he didn't. I think it's because he really didn't have an answer. He wasn't quite sure how he was going to get it done, and that play showed us exactly why he was worried.
Yeah, this number one defense, they can put that on their highlight reel. They have been able to stop the run all season long. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And that will come the offense as they take over. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantee.
In a double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Yeah, he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. That's going to set him back 5 yards. A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6. Dalton here from the gun. It's caught. Smith. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Dalton sets up play action. Wright's got it. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Complete to Wright. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Dalton off play action. And this one complete to Smith. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call. had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Here we go.
Now Dak Prescott and the offense heading back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll give it to Gordon out of the shotgun. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And this is going to be incomplete. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play.
Let's go.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want it to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Play fake. Here's Dalton. Looking downfield for Godwin. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Chicago. Chris Godwin, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears have taken the lead. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Extra point up and good by Bullock, and the lead is now 10-3. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Melvin Gordon now, he and the offense, they trot back out there. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Prescott now. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Tennessee getting the first down on a big play of 18 yards. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That one on Brian Bulaga.
59 mark, 59 mark. Check, 59. Check pass.
Following the penalty, here's Gordon. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be second down. On second and 15 now. Prescott. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 35.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Prescott from the gun. And his throw is incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Prescott to throw it. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, and it's 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. It was Desmond Trufant right there, step for step in coverage.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that'll bring them back within 4. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
So here are the Bears to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hands up. 52. Bring it.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And an alley to run. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. He finds Hopkins complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Dalton now to pass. He's got Smith here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. 3rd and 2 for Dalton. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 14 yards into Chicago, first down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Dalton going to break the huddle, come up 1st and 10. And he's hit on his first 9 passes now in the ball game. Dalton, complete. Smith has it. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now a run with McCaffrey. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the end. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shane Ray coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here comes the Bears punter now. He's been terrific so far. There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Out come the Titans now. And looking at this situation, Charles, you got more than a minute. You've got all 3 timeouts. Probably no need to play this safe.
So what you're saying is that we're doing a little bit of a mind meld here, aren't we? Because I'm thinking along the same lines as you. This amount of time, don't be compelled to play it too safe. This is a chance to get points on the board. Press it a little bit.
And especially since a touchdown here gets you the lead. Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. The end result, 21 yards.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way, work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
A big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Here's Prescott. Got him in. It's Brown. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Check safety. Check safety.
Prescott now from the 50. And he completes it to Westbrook. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. First down, Prescott. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back of the 29. Everson Griffin able to record his 5th sack of the season. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Set the tone, defense.
Looking to throw. Prescott. Gets it to Gordon. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. To throw is Prescott. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Nate Orchard coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. This from 54 yards away. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Now Dalton. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season going to be about 2/3 complete after this weekend, so lots to get to as we check out what's going on here in Week 11. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In the game you're watching, it's been the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, who's led the way. His guys have the lead on the road as we get you back up to Nashville and say hello once again to Brandon Gordon.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. This is Gordon. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Under 10. Under 26.
On 2nd and 12, Prescott. That's complete. It's Gordon. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. Third and short yardage, Prescott. And that is incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. Here we go with a player spotlight, and we shine that spotlight on Andy Dalton. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins. We talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. Well, guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback? They've got to reestablish that in order to try and keep their man upright.
As they have been bowled over a lot so far in this one.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And he fires one incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Dalton. And that will be incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
They'll try and get the ground game going. Here's Gordon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them.
And he will try, but he can't. He can't escape the end zone. Gordon is taken down, and it's a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points.
Come on now, let's go.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
54 Mike. Check, watch 54.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Dalton here from the gun. And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again.
Gordon loses the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
On second down, a run with Lindsey. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 9 yards on the play there, and it'll set them up 1st and goal. They got the ball in great field position after the fumble, but this defense tried to stand tall.
They certainly are, and a lot of times after you pick up a fumble or get an interception, you have momentum on your side. You kind of walk through a defense and score. Not so fast, not in this case.
Operating from the gun. Dalton nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shane Ray able to record his 5th sack of the season.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Now a draw play to McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A nice run there, 8 yards, moves him much closer to the goal line now for 3rd down. Dalton on 3rd and goal. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Andy Dalton. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts, passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
On 2nd and 10, Prescott. This will be caught by Brown. 23 yards the pickup there.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Prescott now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now they run from the gun with Gordon. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Another tote for Gordon. He's been busy this afternoon. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Here's Ryan Allen now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
They'll start on the ground with Lindsey. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, Dalton. A quick throw, but incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Dalton. Got a man, it's right. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. On 3rd and 10, they go flying past the marker and get nearly 40 yards. Well, that'll help get you out of danger. So much for playing it conservatively back towards your own goal line.
That aggressive mentality, sometimes you can use it, and they did there against a defense who probably thought to themselves, there's no way they take a shot here this deep in their own territory.
So that changes things. Here's 1st and 10 all the way up at the 45. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. He already has 2 sacks to his credit. Now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out-and-out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible, because right now he is wrecking things for them.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Dalton bootlegs out. That's to McCaffrey, complete. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Andy Dalton now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. 14 yards into Chicago, first down. Three quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Nashville. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
Dalton, 1st and 10. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down. Dalton operating in the red zone now. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Andy Dalton with his 3rd touchdown pass of the game as the Bears push further out in front. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Now Bullock to add the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Here we go.
Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. A second down throw for Prescott. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. As this one moves towards its conclusion, another incomplete pass there. Thoughts on the secondary? I mean, they seem to be pretty effective in this one.
Yeah, I thought that they've been absolutely outstanding. I mean, their job is to prevent touchdowns, and not a single touchdown's going on the board against them. Of course, they want to make it a total shutout, but hey, if you don't give up touchdowns, you got a heck of a chance to win.
Yeah, that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all out.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. Taking it right down Broadway. And they will score a pick-6 for a Bears touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Here's Bullock now for the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick-6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Let's go!
The Titans offense now, they get ready to do battle again here. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. On the delayed handoff, this is Gordon. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Sets up the screen to Gordon. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me something.
Now Gordon on first down. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Prescott. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Prescott, and he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he held on to it too long. A coverage sack. Down he goes. Everson Griffin in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Here's Ryan Allen now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I
we
enjoy.
share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Hey, you got nothing today. You got nothing.
Play action here with Dalton. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
That's a first down pickup for Tennessee on a gain of 10. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Here's Prescott. Open man is Howard, the tight end. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Gordon. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that plan any down.
Squeeze, double.
A first down throw for Prescott. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Everson Griffin. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Elsewhere, they're into the 4th at FedEx Field. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. If they hang on, that would up their win total to 5 on the season so far. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Out.
Prescott down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Taywan Taylor, but now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And they will get this across midfield, but still well short of the first as he's dropped at the 46. 9 yards on the carry there, but it'll be 4th down now.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought up a punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Following the delay, here's 2nd and 9. Throwing, Dalton. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9. So Dalton now. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. Catch number 44 on the year. It's a first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run on first down. It's Lindsey. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 47-yard line.
They'll go again with Lindsey. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration.
Not running. Dalton wants to throw. He'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
In today's NFL, we're accustomed to the tight end getting downfield and creating plays and wreaking a little havoc in the secondary. Not on this one, though. They diagnosed that one really well.
Tried the dump off, lost yardage. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
Lucky.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I'll bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Bears, it's a win that might keep them alive in the playoff race as they're back to 500 at 5-5. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Titans, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gordon. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.